This would be a good place for my little squirrel to live. Just let it happen. Titanium white. Go on and beat the devil out of it. A sponge. Like...
SMASHN.
Hello everybody, Joe Pal SLO SMASHN, another fantastic tale of smashing and bashing in slow motion. And in today's tale, I'd like to talk to you all about another nice little happy hobby of mine, painting. Love to paint things, happy little smiley things. But I'd never be a painter. I'd rather buy cheap ones and smash them with like RCs or something. And as a kid, I very much enjoyed watching this guy's show that used to paint amazing pictures with happy little creatures that just lived in magical little forests and mountains and clouds and everything. Not because I liked painting, but because I liked taking a nap. And joking aside, this guy's paintings were amazing, and if I could find one out on eBay or something for cheap, well maybe not cheap, I would buy it and hang it in my man cave / office studio, music studio. So without further ado, this is the man that I'm talking about. Well, it could have been a woman, but well, I'm guessing it was a man. Bob Ross! Yes! I cannot even explain how happy I am about this. This is awesome. It's from Neca, and it's like the only real action figure out there. Well, I'd call it like an action as in painting. Where's my magic? That brush sucked anyway. And here we are, a little close-up of the box here of what you get. It has a lot of accessories, like pretty much everything that you could ask for if you watched that PBS show. And the only gripe that I would say that I would have from not seeing it, not even opening it up yet, I don't know, it might be in there, but I don't see these happy little furry friends. I don't know. They usually put everything up front, what's included in the box, but maybe there's a special little squirrel that lives up in there somewhere. And then we got the back. The back is what's cool. I mean, you got like all these little poses right here, and it's the quotes. I'm hoping that focuses in. If it doesn't, it got all these cool little like things that Bob Ross would say, like in a soft-spoken voice. I look forward to seeing you again. Happy painting. God bless, my friend. Or it would be like, this would be a good place for my little squirrel to live. Just let it happen. Or just float around and have fun all day. But my favorite part is when he would always clean that little brush right there, and it comes with it and the bucket, and he would just dip it in the water in a cleaning solution, and he'd beat the devil of it. Anyways, very excited about this, and I'm bringing it to you all so I can open it up for you so you can check it out and see if it's worth the hard-earned moolah. So without further ado, let's go ahead and smash it open. Just let it happen. Just slide it out. And there it is, halfway out. Wow, it's looking good right here. So we have like a lot of his main accessories. We have that, I forget the name of it. It's the board with all the paint on it. And the bucket, and that little knife that he'd make all those trees with, and his fan brush, and a fat brush. And he got his like stand, his easel, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not the painter. But anyways, one of his popular paintings right there too, and it's also in a box right there. But brings me to that. Look at the box. Maybe I will keep this. I usually don't keep boxes, but I mean, it has like a really nice looking like display, and I'm not sure. I guess that's Bob Ross's painting. I haven't seen that episode to remember it. I'd probably fell asleep, but all right, here we are with all the accessories out, and just a quick look at Bob. We'll get into him lastly. I just want to go over the accessories first because the accessories are cool in this figure pack right here. This was actually a two-piece with this little stand easel thing and his tabletop thing. This actually just snaps in there. You see the little grooves right there. It goes in pretty easy. I just kind of mashed it up with the box right there, and pretty self-explanatory there. And then we go into his little paint board right here, and I still don't remember the name of it, but we got that that Van Dyke brown. Okay, I'm gonna get the titanium white. I'd always remember that color, titanium white. And then he had a little bit of that those blues, which I can't remember them. Anyways, watch the show, right? So this is cool. It has little paint splotches on there, very detailed. It got little like his wider brush, his 2-inch brush. It got a little bit of blue paint on there. It's probably some of that. Again, I don't remember the name of that blue. It would have been cool for this video if I did, but I don't. Sorry. Moving on. Anyway, bristles right there, a little like detail. It's great. Good detailing there. And this knife I'll talk about a little bit, because he'd always use this knife and he'd be just like, you know, just scraping out like these trees right there, just going down there and just scraping them in. And I remember him talking in one of these episodes where it's like, it's not a regular like paint knife like you get at the hobby store that look like stainless steel colored, or they wouldn't be all blued like this, but he'd do this, he'd paint them specifically so the camera lenses on the show wouldn't like give off any glare. So that was like his own custom little Bob Ross like a paint knife. That's cool. And if you don't believe me, see it on Netflix. Anyways, moving on. Got the fan brush. You know, he used different sizes, but I mean, it's cool just to get some of these accessories that he used, because a painter has a whole arsenal of brushes. And this one has a little bit of green paint on there too, so you can tell he was busy doing his little happy things right there. And this is just a piece of plastic. But this, the bucket, oh man, the bucket was so, you know what? I don't remember it being on this little board though. I think he always had it down here, but anyway, for the sake of this tale, we'll just put it in there as it was meant to be, at least looks meant to be right in there. And he'd get like this, he'd get his little brush, he'd dip it in solution, or he'd dip it in here, and then he'd just beat the devil out of it. Go on and beat the devil out of it. Alright, so let's just go to Ross himself, the figure. Man, I don't even know where to start here. Let's just go with how he look, or what he comes with, his clothes. I mean, it's like classic Bob Ross like attire right there. Look, he got like the OG, like the cool flair right there, the swagger right there. His chest is out right there, and his collared shirt and buttons. His that belt that he'd wear. I mean, he'd like roll up his sleeves. He got his jeans right there, same color, spot on. The one thing I was never sure of though, because we'd only see him from like, you know, like kind of like the knee up or the waist up, just doing his thing, making happy moments, is his shoes. I never knew. What did Bob Ross wear for shoes? Does anyone know? You can let me know down in the comments. I have no idea. I'm sure he wore some shoes. He didn't go barefoot. Or maybe he did. Maybe he was like a hippie Ross. Who knows? Anyway, I'm pretty sure he wore socks, but this Bob Ross doesn't wear socks, so he'll just pull his pants down. No stinky feet. Anyway, one gripe I have with this one right off the box, right off the bat right now, just looking at it, is the feet, the shoes. Not just talking about, obviously, we didn't know what kind of shoes he wore, or I don't. But it looks like he has like 2 left feet, if you could see. I don't know if you could tell, but like in real life right now, at this moment, as of this time right now, it looks like he just has 2 left shoes on right now. So it's kind of awkward looking. I don't know if it's like a manufacturer defect or anything. It's not a big deal, but I mean, he still stands pretty good. Yeah, see, Rossi boy's all standing. Anyway, let's go to the detailing. So I'm not gonna take his clothes off or anything and be like, oh no, we're gonna leave his clothes on. But as far as like, well, look at his hand. He got like veins in his hands, pretty good detailing. On the other hand, the nails. But pretty much for this video, we're just gonna look at the detailing on his face, and I'd say that is pretty spot on. Bob Ross, look at that girl right there. How could you ever be mad at this guy? He's just so happy and genuine. You're like, you just love this guy. Love this guy. But anyways, one of the most important thing, which another little gripe here, is thinking that they could have done a little bit better job on his fro and made it look more lifelike. Maybe even like some like real like synthetic hair looking stuff or something. I don't know. Or just better like detailing in the hair. It just looks like a sponge, you know? Like seriously, it just looks like a brown sponge if you look at it. Look at that. A sponge. Anyways, aside from his fro, the detailing on his face is pretty good. I mean, yeah, that looks like Bob Ross. You could tell it's Bob Ross. I think it could have been a little bit better as far as the representation of him, but I mean, it looks like Bob. You could tell it looks like Bob Ross. But look at right here, though. It's like you could see some slop right there in the painting. That kind of sucks. And I don't know if you could tell right here in his fro, that's like a little bit of like spots where it's like the color of his skin. They didn't really like get it good. And that part right there, it's just like, I don't know. It's like he like dyed his hair the color of his skin. Articulation. So his head, you know, as you saw me play with him earlier, his head rocks really good. He has great head articulation. His chest, he has that little pivot point, which I'm sure if I took his clothes off, you'd see it, but just take my word for it. It has that little like upper torso joint right there, so he can move right up and down. And he swivels the waist, so let's go on to his arms to go up and down, you know, forward and back, with the exception of the clothes that he has on. It's pretty standard, like articulation, ball joint. See, he even has like a swivel, the upper bicep swivel. And then the elbow joint seems to be single. Yeah, it feels single without like looking into it. It feels like a single joint, but it's good. It's a little loose, but I mean, that just comes with quality control. This one, it's like a little bit tighter, but it's still good. And to his hand, his wrist, it swivels, and it has that little joint where it could go up and down. So you could do like some cool little painting, like shots right there. The other arm's the same thing, and you got like the swivel, the single joint elbow, up, down, side to side, and then the wrist, and that little like swivel joint, the wrist allows him to swivel and move up and down. Going to his leg, it goes forward and back and side to side, so he could do like some Karate Kid like type kicks if you want. It's pretty good articulation. It'd be even better if he took the clothes off, but we're not gonna do that. He's keeping his clothes on. You know, that's a good thing. A lot of figures I have, a lot of them don't really have clothes on. You know, it's kind of just all painted in. But you know, some of these, which is cool. I'm not complaining that they actually have cloth clothes on here, but I'm just saying it can hinder articulation. But articulation is good. It's the clothes that are, you know, you get it. Anyway, the knee point right here has a single joint. I feel it. Single joint articulation, which is good, decent. And back to his Bob Ross shoes. They never knew what they wore, what he wore. It has, let me see, I'll pull up his leg a little bit because I was messing with it earlier. It has that joint where you can go forward and back. So you can like rock his foot forward, back, and then side to side. It has like a little swivel in there. So yeah, see, there you go. So he could like swivel a little bit. You see what I'm talking about? And that's the same thing with the other leg. Same ordeal. Ooh, that needs a little bit of stiff leg. He needs to go see the chiropractor on that one. Oh, there we go. They don't want to break it. Now see, it's nice now. It's probably just a little bit of paint. There, it stiffened him up. We have him stand it up on his own 2 left feet. It's not a problem. And the accessory wise, they all fit in his hand pretty good. Even the easel. Is that what I said earlier? No, I don't even remember. The board with paint. We'll just stick with that. Anyways, he holds them all good, including like the knife and the fan. But I just decided to put the big one right there just for like, so you could see it better. Because these are kind of small. We'll just lay them right here on his little utility bench tabletop right there. But look at him. He's ready to go and paint happy things for your little creatures. Make your day. Help you sleep. Or if you just want to learn how to paint. You know, honestly, if I were to become a painter, it'd be because of this guy. Alright, so let's just do a little size test here with the old tape measure here. See where Bobby sits. He sits about, wow, fro included, 8 inches. He's a tall figure. Size comparison time. Alright, so here he is next to Alex J. Murphy himself. And here we have him next to Leonardo. And here we have all 3 of them together, ready to paint some happy things. Well, that about does it for the Bob Ross episode. I hope you all enjoyed it and it helped clue you in whether to this guy was worth it or not. Gripes aside that I mentioned earlier, I still think it's totally worth it because I love Bob Ross. And check down the links below, funny talking RCs, smashing and bashing things down below. And also check out the Instagram because there it's like I got like really like cool RC and action figures like combined and joining forces. Like I love taking like pictures of them. I'm gonna be doing like some really funny pics with this guy. Anyways, tell me what you think. Tell me you think old Bobby's worth it or not, and smash that bell, smash that thumbs up, comment, subscribe if you haven't had to already, and until next time, smashing out.